Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien and some of the stories coming up in today's news. Finding the payoff and paying it forward, Richmond shoppers' choices grow, buskers are coming and more. Pay it forward was the headlines this week after a business owner decided to put family first and give away a weekend run business created by him and his wife over a year ago. Troy Waring's Road Hog indoor mini golf business has certainly attracted a nationwide response since news broke, and Chrissy Small spoke to Tori about his decision and the response so far.
Troy, it's an interesting thing when someone wants to give away a business, and your mini golf business, the Road Hogs indoor mini golf, you've had it for a year. What has inspired you to decide to give it away?
Well, there's a number of reasons. We always felt that Nelson had a need for something like that for family entertainment. You know, there's very little in the Nelson CBD to cater for families. You've got the climbing wall, but not everybody wants to climb, and you've got the picture theatre. And really, that's about it. For any other activities, you've got to go out of town. So initially we started that to see if there was a need for it, and obviously there is. We've had a very busy year. But we also found that it takes a bit more than 5 minutes to run something like this. And both of us working Monday to Friday, and I do the Saturdays down at Road Hogs, and Joanne does the Sunday. I never see her, and I miss my wife. So we thought, well, what should we do? We don't want to close it. We don't want to just walk away from it. It's too important for the community. So we decided, in a random act of madness, to give it away.
Okay, so the business. Okay, so you've been, it's been out there in the public domain for a few days. What's the response been?
Response? Well, we're trying to breathe still. It's been overwhelming. We're completely humbled by the response we've got. We've got a lot of positive feedback from people from all over the country saying, what a wonderful thing to do. There should be more people like us in this world. There's just been lots of individuals seeking a new start, individuals wanting to expand on their current business, and our primary target, which was community groups. We've got maybe a half dozen community groups that see the potential there for encouraging youth to act out in a business role, as in sense of taking care of the business and being mentored as such by supervisors and things. So it's been just fantastic. The response has been phenomenal.
So do you think you found the right mix to take the business on now?
Well, I hope so. I mean, by looking, we've had well over 50 emails in the last 24 hours. And people from all over the country, Nelsonians as well. And I think amongst that lot, we should be able to find a little champion for our Road Hog cause. Right.
So you really don't want any more applications. You think you've got the lucky new operator out of all those 50?
Yeah, I would hope so. I'd feel pretty disappointed if we couldn't find one in there. The other side of the coin there is that it is a business. You do need to have business acumen and a bit of business nous and smarts to run it. You can't just sort of open up a door and whack a golf ball around. It is a profitable business, and it does work. The model works, so it can't just be, which I think a lot of people saw as, a little gift. It's like, oh, fantastic, we'll just, go and do this. But you need to have a bit of financial background. You need to have the ability to carry you through the quieter periods, and because it fluctuates randomly. 1 minute you're flat out, the next you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs. But that's business, and you need to be able to understand that the future depends on you being able to maintain and manage those fluctuations.
Right. Okay, Troy. So it's also there's costs involved, of course, in running the business. As you say, you need to have a bit of business acumen behind you, and of course there'll be a lease on the building. Is that cheap? Or?
Yes, indeed. Yep, there is a lease. We are currently just on a loose one at the moment, but we have spoken with the landlord, and he's looking to secure at least another 12-month lease. So there is substantial financial commitment to the industry and to the landlord. So, it's basically, as my wife says, we're giving the fishing pole, not the fish.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, it sounds like a great little venture. You've obviously a year of it, and as you say, relationships tend to, when you're working 7 days a week, it's tough, isn't it? All right.
They do take a hammering. It's important to look after everything in your life, to get that work and home balance. So, hopefully if someone comes along, they've got a big pile of people that they can put in and run it,
Yeah, nice big.
And they won't suffer the same, suffer the same consequences we are.
That's right. Oh, look, Troy, it's good luck and well done. It's lovely to see someone stepping out and doing something kind of unusual in this town, isn't it?
Yeah, it is indeed. We saw the little movie just recently, Pay It Forward, and we loved the aspect behind it. To be able to give something with no expectation of anything in return, and just hoping that the universe accepts what we're doing and sends something good back our way.
That's right. Yes, it was a really poignant movie and very sad at the end, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Okay, Troy. Well, happy endings are great, and
thank you very much.
And I hope you find your perfect management team for the business. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, and thanks for calling.
The Turf Hotel in Stoke has been a long-time watering institution for bar sports men and women. Now the historic pub is undergoing some changes. I went and spoke with Andy Dwyer from the Turf to find out more. Andy, we had a few concerned comments on Facebook that the people saw the digger here yesterday and they were a bit worried about the old pub on the corner was going. So can you tell us what's going on and why all the workers?
Okay, yeah, so thanks for coming out. Certainly there is a redevelopment happening, but we're not closed. There's some engineering work detailed in the engineer's report for earthquake evaluations that proved that the structure over here, which was built in the early 60s, was not quite up to speed. The older piece of the property is up to speed, built in the early 1900s, and the sports bar is fine as well. So what we're in the process of doing is redeveloping here, re-strengthening obviously, and it'll be a single story dwelling here. There'll still be 6 rooms upstairs rather than 9. Our sports bar is still operating, meals are available, the whole rest of the hotel's still operating. We're just concentrating on this area here to get it back up to speed.
Sure, and was that the oldest part of the pub?
No, the piece that's left standing was built about the 1900s, 1907 I think, after a fire burnt down the original one as far as I'm aware. This piece here was built in the early 1960s and the lounge bar about 1965. So right. that is sort of the middle piece of the 3.
And what were the reasons for doing this? I mean, it's a big project. Was it just something you had in the plans or were you sort of pushed to do it?
Oh, we haven't been pushed, but obviously to be proactive and react to the engineering report that stipulated that if there was an earthquake, then some of it wasn't up to speed. So we thought it was better to be proactive and redevelop it now going forward so that we can have a nice new restaurant design with food concept out here, indoor-outdoor dining flow, which we think will suit the families in Stoke and hopefully enhance the business here on a whole.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, you've got the big Stoke redevelopment coming up as well, so the community centre, so you're all tying in with that as well?
Well, yeah, we've got obviously association. We're part of the community. We're working pretty closely with the Stoke Rugby Club guys and cricket and so forth. So, yeah, we just see this as a necessary progression really to enhance the turf.
Yeah. But at the moment you're still all open for business?
Certainly still open for business. Most of the work has now been carried out, so the diggers and that have been, and the main road closures all over, so assure people they can get in and out here now. There might be a bit of disruption when the builders get in full swing, but there is parking here. We have got the sports bar open, bar meals are available, the TAB's operational, the gaming's operational, and some of the rooms upstairs down the far wing are still operating, although they're fairly full at the moment anyway.
Richmond shoppers have seen some major retail development in the last few years, with the latest being the Gibson complex. Now it seems that another 2 supermarkets could be in the pipeline, all going well with the consent process. Australian company Progressive Enterprises are looking to rezone a site which had been home to Waimea Richmond funeral services on the corner of Champion and Salisbury Roads. While Foodstuffs announced in 2013 that they intended to open a new world on Bait-Up and Gladstone Roads near Three Brothers Corner, and have been given approval for the rezoning of 1.64 hectares of land, opening the way for the development. In quotable value, New Zealand figures just out this week. Nationwide residential property values have surged ahead in the year to December 2015 at a rate of more than 10% faster than the same period last year. According to these latest statistics from quotable value, the average national value has increased 2.9% over the final 3 months of 2015, and nationwide values overall are now 34.7% higher than the previous market peak reached in late 2007. Although Nelson values have shown an average increase of value by 4.4%, other smaller South Island towns have shown no increase at all. These include neighbouring Grey, Buller districts, as well as Clutha and Gore districts further south. Nelson City Council sponsored Nelson Buskers Festival this year is offering 4 days of action-packed mind-blowing shows, featuring award-winning street performers from around the world. Giles, we've got the ever-popular Buskers event coming to Nelson. It's turning into a bit of a traditional summer event for Nelson, and can you tell us a bit more about it, please?
Yeah, well, basically we bring in about 5 buskers from all around the world, and they come the end of January, so it's going to be the last weekend in January, and they'll be performing both on Trafalgar Street during the daytime, and then early evening they'll be performing on the church steps here, and then we also have a slightly more risque, slightly more adult version down at the Boathouse on Thursday and Friday evenings.
Yeah, that's very good, and be ever popular as always. And how do you go about finding these buskers? You just put an ad in the paper?
well, we'd have to put an ad in every paper in the world to do that. So no. There is a little bit of a circuit. So we're known, so people write into us. We're also doing a bit of cooperation with the Christchurch World Buskers Festival. So a couple of the guys are coming over to that and then coming up to us with a weekend after that. That obviously helps because, it's a problem bringing somebody in from Japan, for example. We've got a guy coming from. For him to come just for 4 days to Nelson would be a problem, but great if he can come to Christchurch and then come on up to us.
And are there any new buskers coming along for this year's event?
Yeah. So as I say, Ace K, the guy from Japan, is new to us. Kate Meyer, who's doing Madame Guillotine, which is a kind of fantastic and very off-the-wall mime act. She hasn't been before. Mullet Man, who's a Kiwi, has been a few years ago. He's a kind of more conventional unicyclist and juggler. So he's back after 4 or 5 years, I think. Yeah, so a mixture of people who've been here before and new people.
And for the more adult amongst us, can you tell us a little bit more about this the risque one down at the Boathouse?
Yeah, a lot of the buskers also do cabaret work as well, so this just gives an opportunity for them to showcase their slightly more risque bits and pieces. So yeah, not something to bring the kids along. Everything else is very family friendly, and you can bring the whole family to that. But the Boathouse, yeah, a little more risque. That's why it's a little later at night.
While out in Richmond this week, I caught up with some people in the street to find out what their highlight was for this year's Christmas break.
Oh, just go and see all the, get out in the country, have a look out in the back blocks. Yeah.
Definitely the Abel Tasman. I mean, it's only like a 40-minute drive over there, and you got your Kaiteri Beach and then Abel Tasman over in Marahau.
Go to the beach and row there, and go and just go to the pools. The pools are really nice, and go to the rock pools at the beach, and go take a boat over to the island on Turner Beach. What's it called? Yeah. And take a boat over to the lighthouse.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. we have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa.
On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.